Now, this is sort of to be expected. When you come down to the brass tactics and the wire to cross it, there's going to be very few people who will really cross the wire, cross the finish line. They'll just say, well, I didn't win, so basically I'm out of here.
No, the one that are here.
I was the first one across the line, so basically I'm done. That's a shame with this country. There's so damn many quitters that basically they just don't see what the hell's really going on here. Of course, it's no different than what happened in Moses' time. No different than what happened in Jesus' time. But when everybody starts bringing up the Bible, basically people just run for the hills, because they all think it's about religion. And they don't know that it's about law. And even then, when somebody tries to tell them the true law, they still run for the hills. Because they just can't face reality. Yes, from what I said last night, basically, you still send your stuff off to the Secretary of State. But the big thing is to try and get it into the U.S. District Court level and put it in that way, because we need to get the U.S. Marshals involved in the seizure of the property. And the only way we can get the U.S. Marshals involved is by way of the court. And like the document that I put up there, basically, out of the Hague Convention, the courts are one of the processes. And their apostille is supposed to be $8 or the same as what the Secretary of State is. And I called up my district court clerk, and basically she was going to try and charge me $78. I said, well, this is total bullshit, but I didn't tell her that on the phone. But it's fraud, okay? But if you read the letter that I posted up there to go along with that, okay, it addresses the fact that basically if there's additional fees required, then they're to take them out of the special fund for the municipality. And see, if what we're coming in is as a municipality from now on when we go into these courts. That's the big thing right there. You're a municipality. And then when you understand that special commission and then the special fund doctrine and a few of the other special words that are out there, you can start placing this all together, that they do not have control over us in that regard. So I tried to be pretty explicit in what I was saying in the letter going to the U.S. District Chief Judge. I called him a constitutional district cancellarius. Well, you look those words up, cancellaria, in the dictionary, Chancery. The High Court of Chancery, says Blackstone, has its name from the judge, the Lord Chancellor, or cancellariuses, who preside there and who was so termed from canceling the king's letters, okay, big thing, letters, patent, when granted contrary to the law. which is the highest point of his jurisdiction. They're operating under administrative letters out here in their special or special letters, whatever, for their special commissions. And they are contrary to the real law. So this court does have the jurisdiction to basically acknowledge the cancellation of that. And then you can come in under a certitoria, writ of certitoria, and you are coming in as a superior to an inferior court of record. That district court is an inferior court to you. You're a municipality standing over them. See, that's what people don't understand. How powerful is a municipality? They can be voted out. They can be terminated tomorrow and a new government put in place. But your municipality is not going to change. You're the local government. They do not have the right to control the local government. That was out of some of the words that I posted up there yesterday. So I sent in today 4 quick claim deeds and then my homestead, body and land document. I think I gave you that one yesterday, Tom.
The homestead?
Yeah.
The new one? I don't think so.
I thought I gave you that one yesterday.
With the what I call.
Maybe I gave it to you today.
Okay.
Yeah, it should have been today. The homestead, body and land exemption declaration.
Yes. Certificate of live birth, homestead, body and land declaration. Yes.
Okay, and see, that's where your homestead, and that's one of the most powerful items in this country, is homesteading in this country. It's the homesteaders that are the backbone of this country, of this nation. And you are homesteading in your body. And your body and land is exempt from their control. But you're also operating as a municipality by prescription. The 3 bodies of government: the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. They built the government on the foundation of what man is.
Mm-hmm.
The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. A fiction, the man of movement, and then the man of thought or of knowledge. And that's the 3 branches of government. You have to outthink these guys, okay? They are hemmed in by their laws that control them. You're not. That's what they're afraid of, is that we're controlled, but you're not controlled, but we want to try and control you. Okay. I don't know whether there's any more thing I can say, okay? I've got those all documents. Everything's there. My package is on the way. It should be in there to the court in the morning. And basically, this one definitely should rattle the cage. The couple in North Carolina, they put something into the federal court level. And then they had the visitation about 2 days later by the U.S. Marshals to pick up their documents, or whatever other organizations are involved in the closure of this process, maybe a Secret Service agent or two. You can be out of this thing this week. You can either walk these things in, but you have to know what you're doing, or you send them in, okay?
Jennifer.
But if you don't get them done, you're not going to get anywhere. I tried to break this down as simply as possible. I'm not doing 50-page documents like some of these people out here, gurus, are doing. I'm doing basically a one-page document and then having the support attachment, one-page support attachment to go along with each one of these. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Comments?
The 5 quit claims you're doing are the certificate of live birth, the DD-214 and the selective service, the baptism, the Social Security card, and your homestead, right?
The certificate of live birth, the Social Security card, the DD-214 or selective service account, and then that's for a man, and then your baptismal record if you have one.
Yes.
Okay, and then, yes, the homestead, body, and land exemption. And with that one, you're putting a copy of your either your Bible entry document or your certificate of baptism, or not, your
hospital
certificate of birth at the hospital birth certificate.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's what goes with that document. See, that is your, if you have the original hospital birth certificate, that is a homestead body plot map. That is a boundary map showing the metes and bounds of the body land, a homestead. That document is more important than all these others out here if you've got it. But the Bible entry in the family record book is also valid.
Now we can send in a copy or the original copy.
You
right?
send a copy of it in,
right.
Okay? You maintain the originals. You are the government. You hold the original.
Yeah, you say that in there.
To hell with them,
yeah.
Okay? They want you to surrender them, and then they'll lose them on you.
Sure. You had one sentence in there that I couldn't quite catch, and that's if you to the judge you're saying, if you do not have the United States of America listing handy, please ask your supervisor to find one for you. Well, what's the
basically if that judge doesn't understand this, then basically he always has a senior judge over him.
Okay.
Okay? There's always a senior person over everybody in the government. See, we're the senior person over the government. As a last resort, they can come and ask us.
So the listing
because we're the master, they're the servant.
So the listing mentioned here is the procedure that we're using that they should know cold.
They what?
Well, by the listing, you then mean the procedure that we are using and which they should know cold because they're superior in the justice system.
Say that again, okay?
I'm trying to get to understanding of the word listing, and I gather from what you said.
It's the record. It's the document, the Hague Convention document. And basically, it's got all of the countries listed in there, the signatories listed.
Okay. Now I got that. I got it. Okay, got it.
Now that's what I told you to go and try and pull down off the website. There should be that Hague document there that has all that.
Right.
And then it's got all the Secretary of State's offices, addresses there. The one that I had basically was several years old, so it was $5 for the Secretary in D.C. and $5 for the court, but they've upped that now to $8.
Okay.
But the state of Iowa was still $5. I don't know what it is, whether the values have changed for the other Secretaries of State, but you have to check those out. You always have to call your Secretary of State to find out how much they're charging, and then also see if make sure you've got the right address and everything, and how to make the money order out to. Who do you make the payment to? Ask the damn questions. If you don't ask the questions, you're not going to get the answers. Yep. I don't have all the questions or the answers. You're going to have to go to the place that has the answers.
Okay. So I will find the apostille document and post it.
Well, you just get your shit done, Tom, okay?
Yeah, okay.
But you should be able to find that because you shouldn't need that. Okay, you should have already had that by now. Okay? Or somebody else should find it and possibly get it to you.
Okay.
If there's any other people out there that are willing to do anything on the group site. I don't know if there's anybody left alive on the damn group site besides maybe about 10 or 12 people.
Yeah, which is weird because we're coming more into focus now than we were before when it was more active.
Yeah, let's see, that's when everybody runs for the hills. Basically, they want to run to somebody else over here because, well, this guy's getting remedy over here. We have got remedy right here, okay? We just don't see it all out in the open. I get shit from the damn state. I get shit from the damn IRS. But the local IRS won't come after me. They won't file a court case against me. Why? Because of some of the stuff that I've already done. But yet the Atlanta, Georgia IRS office continues to file bullshit at me, and I just disregard it. I've got outside activity that are coming in after traffic tickets that I haven't paid in almost 2 years now. But I disregard them. I'm still here. If the county wanted the damn taxes, the state, the county, for the traffic tickets, I'm sitting here. That they're not coming after me. Why? Because some of the shit that I put out here and have kept them at bay. So they know that I know what the hell I'm talking about. But they're not going to give credence to it because that would basically make everybody jump up and down for joy.
They don't want it documented.
Yeah. But see, everything out here is done by a municipality. That's who you've got to be. You've got to stop being an individual, and you've got to be the municipality, the government, the local government that they do not have control over. And as a local government, you have the right of ambassadorship and all the other stuff. You just have to get your state recognition as your local government to operate within the federal other zones. With your diplomatic immunities.
Patrick.
Your homestead immunities and stuff.
Patrick, this is Daryl. Do I have to push a button to talk to you?
No, go ahead.
All right, thank you. Is it, am I thinking stupid? Or is the sheriff of the county where I live the highest authority, and then the governor of the state is the next highest authority, and then the Hague, or the world government, the next highest authority above him, and the federal government is below the governor of the state.
You, man, is the highest government.
Okay.
Man, as a municipality, is the highest form of government.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
You have government control over your homestead.
Right.
They can't come onto your homestead unless you allow them onto it, or unless you have violated and caused some harm to somebody else. So that means you are the highest government in the world. Even higher than the Hague. The Hague ain't shit. It's just another group of people that basically got together and said, oh, yeah, let's try and do this so that we're all in conjunction with everybody.
So I'm not in wrong in thinking that I am, as a man of God, if I choose to be so.
Yes, but you don't go out there and flaunt it in their face. You do it stealth.
Correct. Yeah, I don't flaunt it or anything like that. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to know how to stand your ground in this, and the only way you can do that is to get out there and do some of this stuff.
Well, personally, I haven't really done much in my life other than maybe got a speeding ticket or something like that, and I haven't been in a position to get anything like that for 10 years or so, or whatever. I don't plan to, but I wouldn't mind doing much. I ran across you, Patrick, and we the people Yahoo group about mid-December of last year, 2013, and maybe 6 months prior to that, Carl Lentz, Dave Mack, and and a few others that are talking about, taking over our lives from the government, from the world. And, I don't know if you ever heard of Chuck Meisler. He's a guy out of Boise, Idaho. He turned into a preacher, and he's got videos that you can download through uTorrent or whatever. I haven't done that in a long time, but I pretty much about 6-7 years ago gave up on materialism and the life of materialism and worked my ass off. Maybe I may be wrong, Patrick, but maybe 5 or 8 years ago you retired out of nuclear work. You were in the Navy or something like that, and nuclear work, and I was a Mason all my life, and I retired out of it. And,
everybody can change their lifestyle, okay?
Yeah.
But see, you have to go back and you rely upon what you've learned, okay? You never disregard totally what you've learned, okay?
Right.
There's always something good in everything you've done, okay? You just have to draw upon that knowledge that is sitting there and put it to your best advantage in the process.
Right.
Yeah, see, operating procedures and stuff like that, basically I've been doing that almost my whole life, more so in nuclear power after I got out of the Navy and out of the phone company and basically off the farm. But basically they all come into play that I had the common sense to think things out, okay?
Correct.
More so than most other people. Most other people can't think these things out. That's why they could never be classified as a test engineer to write procedures, because they don't have the capability to think logically.
They don't want to. They want to see.
They want to be told what to do.
Games or hockey games or something like that.
Yeah.
I was hired a few years back, about 10 years ago, by 5 different states in the Southern District of California to rewrite masonry, concrete, and tile and marble. For people that want to take tests to become contractors. The test questions and the answers. I'm a fucking hard-ass piece of shit. You know what I mean? And I'm 53 years old. I'm living longer already than my dad. My dad died when he was 47 with a massive heart attack. And I'm already 5 or 6 years older than he is already. But for the last 6 or 7 years, I just said, fuck it. And I bought a piece of shit fucking house down in a little piece of shit Kansas.
Well, basically, let's just get back on subject here and get these documents done, and then you can get out of the thing, and then you can start putting it to good humanitarian use, okay?
That's what I want.
That's what needs to be done, okay?
I've never I never was exposed to this stuff. It's all new to me for the last 6 or 8 months. You
were controlled by the other side of the ledger, okay? Yeah. In that endeavor, just like most of the government people out here, they're controlled by the laws that they're operating by, and they never really think outside the box. They think that that's the real world.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I understand that. I can see that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, you take care. And anybody else got any other questions?
Thank you so much for that.
Okay.
No, I've asked my questions. Anybody else?
Not me.
No, you answered a question for me, Patrick, that I was talking to Thomas earlier about, and that is there a difference between a chief judge and a senior judge? And you answered that the senior judge is over the chief judge, and the senior judge has superior authority to the chief judge. And that was my question.
Well, the chief judge is an Article 3 judge. Basically, the senior judges are basically in the background to support the chief judge in his capacities. Okay? So they're sort of there for life in their capacity as they have done their time in grade, and now they're going to sit in the background and be called upon when needed. That's what most of the senior judges are for, okay?
Okay. That helps my understanding.
Okay. And see, there's always, once you get up to a certain level in the judgeship, okay, you've got the knowledge. Basically, they're going to have a position there for you that basically you can help the law system, the judicial system, if needed. But see, in most cases, everybody out here is operating under the commercial endeavor, so in a lot of cases, they're never really called upon in the real law system.
So the chief judge rarely exercises his Article 3 judgeship.
In most cases, in most of these courts, no.
Yeah.
He doesn't. Yeah. He's just operating under the commercial side of the endeavor. So he's wearing two hats in a way. The commercial 14th Amendment judgeship that was created in 1938 when they switched, when Roosevelt switched around the judicial judgment system here in this country to be more along the lines of a commercial insurance courts. And basically, nobody is called on the Article 3 real judicial capacity. Now, when they have a trial, in most cases, to where somebody's actually committed murder or something like that, then in some cases, those guys do come forward in that Article 3 capacity.
But we're approaching the judge in the Article 3 capacity with for these apostilles, are we? Are we approaching the chief judge as an Article 3 judge in the documents we're sending in now?
Yes, that's what really is going on here.
Okay.
Okay? We're getting, with an apostille, you're trying to get the seal from the real, de jure government.
Okay.
The fictional government ain't going to apostille anything because they're foreign. They're not going to apostille a real American's document. It's like you taking your document and taking it over to France and having France apostille it. They're not going to do it.
Hmm.
You've got to go to the American consulate in France and have the American consulate do it. And then apostille it, and then for operating in France, then France has to accept that American apostille. That's what I'm saying. We have to get these things apostilled here under the de jure United States of America, whether it be the Article 3 court system per the Constitution, or whether it be the Secretary of State per the Constitutions. because the commercial foreign governments that are operating here in this country, the state of whatever, and the state of United States, they are not going to apostille our things for us because they don't want them apostilled.
It's not in their best interest.
Okay?
Got it.
Is this only because they're about their own lives?
Well, they want to control us, so why would they give up something and let us be free? They don't want us to be free.
Why is that, do you think? Now, I mean, personally. I mean, individually as a, like...
It's like you have a farm and you've got a whole bunch of cows. Now,
right.
Do you want your cows running all around the county, or do you want them to run around your farm? You're going to fence them in. You're going to control them. You don't want them to be like the deer and the rabbits and the wild turkeys and stuff like that, to where they roam freely.
Isn't that kind of, sickly when it the human beings on?
Sure.
Yes. It's the same thing that Egypt did. It's the same thing that all these ancient governments, Babylonian governments, the Medes and the Persians, the Greeks, and everything else tried to control the people. Well, when they start putting controls on the people, that's when they start demising and the countries start collapsing. Because when you put too damn much control on the people will go elsewhere.
Right. Correct.
Okay? That's the bottom line. Because the people can move. The amount of knowledge that basically has left this country over probably the last 20 years has been phenomenal.
Or they think they can move.
Just because they think they are going to have better and more freedoms in another foreign country. Some do, some don't.
I really feel now as a construction worker and then later on as a construction contractor, as a mason contractor up in North Michigan, I really had very strong feelings negatively and wrongly so looking back with 20/20 hind vision, of Mexicans or South Americans coming up here to work in the United States. I am 100% visually seeing that as different.
They have as much right to be here in this nation as anybody else does.
I am so sorry for feeling that way my whole life. I really am.
Yeah,
I really am.
Yeah. We are Americans, okay? We're
Exactly.
North Americans, and basically we have the right to travel anywhere in North America. That's what initially was set up.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes, I agree.
Without any metes and bounds. But the commercial world has tried to regulate that and put unjust controls over the free flow of knowledge within the continent.
Yeah. I see that now. I'm sorry for being 3 years old and so ignorant and arrogant about that stuff. And stupid. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else?
Guess not.
I guess it's going to be a short call then tonight, Tom.
Well,
Go ahead and call it a night if nobody else is going to say anything.
Okay, it's a good call, though. Thank you, Patrick.
Okay.
Thank you, Patrick.
Okay.
Just go over those documents that basically post it up there. Get those things into the U.S. District Court, okay?
Will do.
And understand that it's not the federal court. It's the U.S. District Court that's called out in the Constitution. The federal court is basically the one that came about under the 14th Amendment.
Washington.
The usage of the word federal in a lot of these things. They polluted that usage of the word federal.
Yeah, I mentioned to you on a call about that usage of the word federal, and it turns out what I had heard, that in the 1924 Webster Dictionary, federal was considered almost equivalent to contract.
Oh, what? Contract.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys
Okay.
have a good night. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you very much, Patrick.
Thanks,
Okay.
Pat.
Bye.
Good night.